Hello and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you about mental division, so using my known multiplication facts to divide larger numbers such as these. Now this can be a bit tricky. It really helps if you absolutely understand what you're doing when you're dividing, but I'm going to go through it, and with a bit of luck by the end of the next 5 or 6 minutes you will have at least some idea what to do. Here we go. So let's just start off with this one. I've got 240 divided by 4. Okay. Now, I have got no idea how many 4s there are in 240. And I've got no idea that if I share 240 between 4 people, how many they're going to get. Okay, just reminding you what dividing is. But I do know, because I recognise that 24 straight away. And the reason I recognise it is because I know my times tables well, and as I keep saying, please learn them, because then you can do these kinds of things. I do know the 24 divided by 4 equals 6. I know that. I know that 6 times 4 equals 24. Now, I started off with 10 times as much at the beginning. Now, if I started off with 10 times as much, and I shared it with still 4 people, they must each get 10 times as many of whatever I'm sharing. So when I had 24 sweets and I shared with 4 people, they each got 6. If I had 10 times as many sweets, I had 240 sweets, and I shared it between the same 4 people, this time they would get 10 times as many sweets, which is 60. And that's the key to this, is thinking, what are you actually doing with this? What does this division mean? Let me give you another example. So I've got 320 and I want to divide it by 8. I don't know how many 8s are in 320, but I do know that there are 4 8s make 32. So how many 8s go into 32? It's 4. Well, 320 is 10 times as much as 32. So it must take 10 times as many of those 8s to get into 320. Well, it was 4 to get to 32, so it must be 40. So far, so good. Right, what about when we get to something like this, which is going to be 4,900 divided by 7? It's not a problem, because I just recognise that 49. So I write it out and I use what I know. And I know that 49 divided by 7 equals 7. But 4,900 is 100 times bigger, because the digits are 1, 2 places over. So if the number I'm starting with is 100 times bigger, and I'm sharing it with 7 people, they're all going to get 100 times as much. 100 times bigger than 7 is 700. And that's about as far as lots of people want to go, but I am going to take it a bit further with this example here, 360 divided by 90. But don't start guessing these, because if you do, you're going to find yourself in the land of Muppetry straight away. The answer to this is not going to be, well, 36 divided by 9 is 4, and there's a couple of zeros, so I must have 400. I need to do it step by step, and I think to myself, well, I know, start with what I know and make sure I keep my place value columns. So 36 divided by 9 equals 4. Now let's make this 10 times bigger. 360 divided by 9, as we've been doing down here, must be 40, because it's 10 times bigger. Now I'm going to write this one out again. And this is the bit to be careful about. Now, I've got 360. I'm not sharing it amongst 9 people now. I'm sharing it amongst 90 people. Well, there's 10 times as many people sharing this, so therefore they are going to get 10 times less. So they'll get 4 each. It's always worth checking these by, does it work backwards? Does the inverse? Does 4 times 90 make 360? And of course, it does. I'm going to do one more of those, and then I will leave you to do some practice. So let's do 2,700 divided by 30. The key to this is do it step by step. So I'll do 27 divided by 3, which equals, how many 3's in 27? It's 9. Now I'm going to do 270 divided by 3. Well, that would be 90, because it's 10 times as big. Then I can do 2,700 divided by 3, and that will give me 900, because it keeps getting 10 times bigger. Now I'll go back to my original question, which was 2,700 divided by 30. Now here, I'm not sharing this amongst 3 people, I'm sharing it amongst 30 people. So they're going to get 10 times less. So they will end up getting 90. And that gives me my answer. Have a good look at this. Do play it over again. Think to yourself, what are you doing? Are you sharing it with 10 times as many people or 10 times fewer people? And that will then help you with what you are doing. As always, it's all about place value. And of course, knowing your times tables. All the best with that, and see you in the next video.